This week on Painted Plastic.
Alright, so that's a leg nearly done. All we have is the hip. The hip is relatively straightforward. You can pick a side, basically. I tend to do the side with the slot just because it seems easier, you know. I don't know, probably isn't, but yeah, because you can go here. Let me just show you. You can go alongside these posts, right? Kind of like that. Can everybody see that? Yeah, that's kind of what you're aiming for, and then you're going to come through here. Let me just show you. Start on this side. Actually, you know what? Where this slot is, just nip that off. You don't need the inside part. Right? Just like that. Now, go beside the post. I don't know if I mentioned when I started all this, but all these parts have been matte varnished. I know I said I was going to do some more weathering, but I kind of like the look of them as they are. I think if I went much further, it would be kind of too much, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I just like the look of it. I think the one thing I want to do, there we go, see that? Right straight through the base, and then same thing on this side. I think one thing I might want to do, once the model is all complete, is go back over some of the metallic parts with gloss coat, but I'm kind of thinking I'm going to brush it on, just so I can avoid some of the chips and dings and, you know, all that stuff. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I do like the look of it right now. I mean, I think it turned out pretty nice so far. Anyway, alright, so we're through there. Alright, now we can take our, there we go. Don't forget your poly caps. You know, I assembled the whole leg, got it all done. This is an old kit, not this kit, but got it all done and realized that I had left the poly cap and the knee out. So it was just floppy and ended up having to take it all back apart. It was, yeah, so don't forget your poly caps. There we go. And that will be forwards. So we want to drill a hole right here in the back. And you'll see why we are putting it in the back. Just like that, right straight through. Hope I was all on camera. I'm having a hard time staying on camera tonight. Just like that. Right, so now the piece that we modified, right? We install this. It's going to come out just like that. Make sure you get all the little bits of plastic out. Alright, and we can take our wire. And this is going to be sort of tricky, just because there's a bend. There's going to be a pretty drastic bend in the wire. So we'll just do kind of 2 stages to get it through there. There we go. Pull this thing over a little closer. You can see by the size of this leg how gargantuan the mega size are. They're really enormous. And through. Am I showing you how to do that? Yeah. Alright. This is the tricky bit because this is the turn. Go. Just like that. Yeah, try to keep your wire from getting tangled as much as possible. It's very easy to do. Alright, so see what we have there? Now it's going to go around that post. And now we'll go right into the hole we made in the back, but before I do that, I did put my, yeah, see there's a poly cap down in there. I almost forgot it. before we do that, I want to feed a little bit more of this wire through. There's a little piece of plastic in there. Alright. Just to have a little bit closer to the leg when we're ready to install. And I shouldn't have pulled that all the way through. There we go. Just get it right down. I mean, I want it just about ready to install when we get the other part on. Uh-oh. See what I mean right there? See how it's starting to curl? Be careful that you don't kink up your wire. Trying to pull it through too fast, and there we go. Alright. Now we'll feed it through the back. Just like this. Right? Now it'll ride right in the back, and that knee will still, or that hip will still be able to function. Take our other piece and oh, the one thing we do have to do is clip off this. You know, because we went through the center, and this is just going to get in the way. Just like that. Alright. Bam. Just like that. And now, if you can't get it to push straight down in, you can feed a little wire through. Hopefully it will, you know, just go right in for you. That's ideally, but let me see if I can pull a little more of that slack out. I don't think I quite got it tight enough. Have I been off camera that whole time? Oh, well. I'm sorry, y'all. This is just really fiddly to do. It's really fiddly to do anyway, but then to do it on camera is just even more so. So there. It pops right in. Hip works. Got rotation. Knee bends. No problem. Ankle functions. Yep. Alright, let's get started on the pelvis. I've already started on this side. Well, basically I cut the ends off, and then I drilled straight through, and if we open it up, I cut out a little bit right here, and then I made a hole just right up through the center, right? Just so that can come out up top, and then up top's just got a regular hole, right? And actually what I'm going to do up here is just snip this out so that it won't pinch the wire or anything like that, right? So how do we do it? Really, really simple. Just put them together, and oh, gotta change my bit again. Sorry. Should have had that switched before I started. So holding the part together, just going to go right along the side there. Ah, good gracious. Alright, so we've got a hole through. Let's see what we've got inside. Alright, so the hole is through. Alright. Now what I want to do, excuse me again, these little corners right here will create some drag when we're trying to pull the wire through. So all I'm going to do is just kind of snip off both corners. Right now it's kind of rounded over. It just makes it a little easier. Ooh, watch your eyes, guys. Just makes it a little easier pulling the wire through. I think I also want to widen this hole a little bit, just because the angle is a little steep for this side coming through. But that's easy enough to do. The old pin vise, there we go. Just opened it up a little bit. Alright, so now let's get our wires. Here, let me lay these down as they are, left and right. Right. And this is actually the back of the waist. So, here's what we've got. The wire will go through. Whoops. Oh, there's nothing holding it there. Oh. That's going to make it a little bit easier. So now we can just feed that right through. And up through the top. Now we will have to remember, as I'm wiring this, that the stripe wire is going to the right. So, you know, when we do the base, when we wire the base, we need to make sure that the negative goes to the right foot. Just have to make a little mental note of that. Alright, let's take out a bunch of this slack. Just like that. Now let's get the other one in place. Again, this one doesn't really have anything holding it, so really we can just feed it through the center again. Quite big enough for 2 wires. Yeah, we got it. Alright. I'm not even on camera. That's been the theme of this video. Is he on camera? Will he show us what he's doing? I want to crisscross those so that there's less of a pull when we go to pull the wires. See, like this will all be enclosed, but we can still hopefully pull that wire through. Maybe. I think I want to just do it this way. All right, let's put the other half on. Oh, wait. Hang on just a second. Poly caps. Did I show them to you? No, because I'm off camera. Poly caps. These hold the side skirts, so they will go in thusly. Maybe we'll put it right side around. Alright, now we're just going to kind of push this together loosely because we got to make sure these two wires stay where they're supposed to be. Let's get them a little bit closer right from the beginning. I do want to loop them. There we go. And hopefully we still have, let's see if we still have a good connection. So, negative was right. Positive is left. And do we have a light? Let's see. We have light. I don't know if you can see it. It's all the bright lights. But... So our circuit is good. Be right back. Alright, so we're back. As you can see, the base has been base coated. That's just that leather brown that we showed earlier. Actually, it might have been in the last part. I've just masked off around the sides just to keep anything from getting on there. And these little feet print are, I took the foot and just outlined it on a piece of card and stuck it on place. This is just to keep sand and stuff from going where I know the feet will be. Now we're going to do some stuff there so it's not just brown, but yeah, so that's just to keep sand out of there. We're going to use some, this is just Mod Podge and water, 50-50 mix. I just put it in a little squirt bottle for easy application. Right, and then over here to this side, this is some sand and gravel and stuff that just came out of my front yard. Right, not sure if I got quite enough, but we'll see what we can get done. I might have to do a little more, you know, after the fact. So I've also got some rocks, right, and we're just going to kind of strategically place them around with hot glue, you know, before we get going with the sand. So. Give me just a second and we will start with the rocks. Back in a minute. Okay, so I've got these rocks kind of, I don't know, basically where I want them. Got my glue gun warming up. Yeah, I'm not sure about some of these just because I don't know how I'll get material in between them, but, you know, just kind of playing with them, standing them here and there, see what works, see what doesn't, you know. Anyway, let's see, we have glue, so I think I'll start right here with this first little guy. And all I'm doing, let me make sure I get on camera, just put a little dab right on the bottom, you know, wherever you think it's going to sit. And set it in place, all right? About like that. Same all the way around. Alright. So that's all the rocks. Phase 2. Now that the glue is, this hot glue, it sets up really, really quickly. So phase 2 is get our glue, and we're just going to kind of spritz in areas. We're going to take our sand mixture. Now, grab our glue again, and this time we're just going to go to town. Spray everything, right? Alright, now before it starts to really dry, I want to carefully pull up my feet print, because I don't want those. Alright, we got a little bit of sand in there, but... Right, oh, sorry guys. Grab this other one. Be right back. Alright everybody, so here is the base. As you can see, it's all finished and ready to go. Couple of things I did off camera. Once it was all dry, I felt like the sand was a little too monochrome, so I went around with Tamiya Desert Yellow and just kind of did some dry brushing. You can see I did the feet prints and just a little bit here and there just to kind of break up the sand a bit. I felt it was a little too uniform. Also, you'll notice I have connections here for the feet. These are just thumbtacks, right? And all I did, let me flip it over. All I did was solder wire right to the end of the thumbtack, right? Oh, and you can also see the battery compartment. That's just hot glued in place, right? All the connections. Put the switch in. That's just a little toggle switch. Fit in that hole I showed in an earlier part. But so that's all ready to go. Just need to get the mobile suit finished, and it will be good to go. So, sorry I didn't show all this stuff, but this episode got outrageously long, and I had to cut some stuff. So. In future builds, we'll do some more of this for sure. So we'll show some of that, in the future. But the next episode, we will finish the construction of the mobile suit, and hopefully, that'll be the last build video, and then we'll have a final reveal video. That'll be episode 10. So stay tuned. The next episode's coming. Thanks for hanging out.